Hey guys, welcome back. So this is my granddad's electric lawnmower and he has a problem with it. When he powers on the lawnmower, the motor spins but the blade does not. And I disassembled the whole lawnmower. It was quite difficult to find how to remove the motor and driver assembly. And when I open it up, it's not there right now, but here, this is the belt that was in here. As you can see, it snapped in two parts. So I went ahead and ordered a replacement. This is what we will insert in this video, and hopefully this fixes the issue. Now, I have to say that there's another potential problem. That is this over here, I forgot the name of this thing. So basically, when I try to spin, it's rather high resistance in one direction but not the other, so maybe there's a problem with this part. So this may also need replacement, but for now we will simply insert the belt and test it. Maybe that's all it needs. And then I'm also going to resharpen the blades because I think they are a bit dull. Okay, so here's the motor with its fan attached to it, and this part, which I don't know how to call it, but this is where the blade actually gets attached to. And I have to get the belt in here somehow. And I think the easiest way... Oh yeah, right. I had to loosen these 4 screws. The motor can now be moved. So I moved the motor as close as possible to this part, and I'll simply try to get the belt nicely around here, and I have to make sure that it does not slip. Because, something as before I'm going to install it, the belt actually has some ridges. And I have to make sure that they sit properly in these ridges over here, so that we have sufficient surface area. So I need to make sure that it's properly seated, like this, get it around. And although the motor is moved really close to this other part, it's still pretty tight. So it's quite difficult and finicky to get it in. So come on. Okay, that's it. And then I'm going to try and press it down on the motor. And that's not properly seated. It sticks out too far, so I have to redo it. Get it out. And redo the whole thing until it properly sits in place. And that's it. Okay, so this one is in place. Now I have to tighten the belt. So I think the easiest way to do it is like this. Get the motor on the vise, then press down on the plastic cover. As you can see, as I press down, the belt gets tightened or tensioned. I press down as hard as I can, and then screw in these screws that I loosened before. That's quite difficult. My nose is right up against the camera's back, so yeah, that's really difficult. But that's how I'm going to do it for now, so you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's it. The belt is tightened. We have good tight grip on it. It still moves freely, so that's nice. And now I have to simply get everything back into the lawnmower, and hopefully it works. But before that, I'm going to sharpen the blades. You see, we have some nicks in it. It's not as sharp anymore. It's rather dull. So yeah, definitely needs resharpening. So that's the second part that I have to do. Okay. Now that the blade is properly secured, I'm going to simply use a metal file, but I'm not sure. It's rather difficult to do it like this, but yeah, I think now it's not going to work. I have to. Oh, that's tight. Oh my god. Maybe like this will work better. Yeah. That should do the trick, and I'm not sure, but maybe I should use some oil. So I'm going to apply some oil. I'm not too sure if this is necessary, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Shouldn't harm it. And then it's just a thing of getting a nice cutting edge. I have one question right now. Is it normal for it to actually have this bend? Is that normal? Now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. Is it bent? Or is that actually supposed to be the case? I'm not too sure. I mean, it has a similar bend on both sides, so I'm a bit puzzled. I'll just try to sharpen it, and then yeah, we will see. We will see. So I have to continue sharpening, and then okay, so I'll do that and come back as soon as I'm finished with it. Okay, so the knife now has new cutting edges on either side. They're nice and clean. I also cleaned the whole blade, and I'm now going to get a bit of oil on it to help and prevent any corrosion, at least for some time. Just going to apply a thin layer on both sides and the cutting edge, and yeah, basically covering it in some oil. The oil I'm using is the one that I'm always using, which is oil for weapons, weapon oil. This has very nice properties that it leaves a very, very fine film on every surface that it touches, and it's pretty hard to get off. So it hopefully helps preserving the blade for a bit longer. And now that this is done, I can go ahead and reassemble the whole lawnmower. Now the assembly is pretty simple. Just have to get the motor assembly with the new belt back in place. Have to screw in 5 screws from the bottom, and then get the cover back on, and we can test it. It's a really simple fix for something that I think happens quite often, because the belt is a very common replacement component and it only costs 20 euros. So if you have a similar problem where the motor is only spinning but not the blade, well, that's most likely the issue. Okay, so I put the lawnmower back together, and my mom is now going to power it on so we can see if the motor actually works. As you can see, we have air movement out of the back. That means that the additional assembly, this white part, which is designed to move the grass out the back, does work. So I'm now going to flip it on the side so we can see if it spins. As you can see, it does spin, so this repair was a success. So I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please leave a like, comment down below, and other than that, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!